Hey, hey, hey! Hey, Facebook! Hi, honey, it's Val, and you're in Valtopia. A little bit mellow for Sunday. Hope you're doing fabulous. I am riding the cosmic waves, and I'm bringing it through to you today. I thought we'd line it up with some quantum magic, my painting. And I'm going to be painting a little bit later today, but I wanted to come on and share today's energy with you. Say hello. I'm Val Cripps. I'm an artist. I'm an energy guide. I'm a mindset mentor. And I'm basically here to light a fire under your ass and bring you back into your own energy. So many of us are living an experience where we think we're doing pretty well. And I have clients who come in and we refresh our perspectives and realize, oh my gosh, when we look back over the 90 days or whatever it is we've done together, it's like you can't see the same person. And this is what I want to bring to you. I've done it for myself, I've done it with my clients, and I'm here to bring it with you. Every day, life transformation, honey. So let me share this. Say hello as you're joining on. Say hello. Tell me how your Sunday is. I'm just coming back from San Diego. It was good. It was a beautiful little holiday with my little boys. I'm a single mama. If you don't know me, say hello. If you're one of my regular crew, say hello. Let me see if I can share this. Yeah. Just sharing to my group, Valtopia. And we have a good one today. This is a really powerful stream coming through. I've been sitting here tuning into exactly who's meant to be here. Hi, Elaine. Who's meant to be here? Who's meant to hear this? Who's meant to receive this transmission live or replay? I want you to stay tuned, all right? All right, let me share this to my page. How are you doing, Elaine? What's happening? Share to my page. How are you guys feeling in the cosmic weather? I know that there's all kinds of different things happening for everybody, and we're all on a different side of it. And this is part of why I'm coming live to you so often and sharing this work, because there's a whole aspect to living that we're living as a collective. Hey, Tita. And when we're disconnected from that collective ebb and flow and we try to deny it and cut it off, that's when we start to get into problems with our body and our body connection and all the things that we want out of our experience. Hey, Shauna. Glad you're doing well, Elaine. So this allness, this not being a vanillaPreneur, what I'm talking about today, really what brought this about is a discussion with one of my longtime friends that I've done a lot of energy work with, and we've done some things together. There's this thing happening, Sean and I were talking about it too, there's this thing happening where you think your life's pretty good, right? You think that you should be stoked with what you have, and you do, you've done a lot. But if you have any sense, and you're watching this, that there's a piece of you missing, or something doesn't feel right, or you wish you could do more with your intuition, or you wish you could open up your third eye, if there's parts of you that are calling you and you're not quite sure what it is, it might look like depression or anxiety or boredom, guaranteed there's a program running in your DNA that's looking for more exhilaration and expecting the worst. Hey, Robin. And expecting things that happened in another lifetime or happened in your youth. And you may have done a shit ton of work already on this, and you're like, no, I'm good, I'm the boss, I've done this work. I know that we have other layers to peel away, and I'm really showing up more powerfully every day, because these layers that people think are already cleared that aren't, need to go. And these codes need to be activated. They don't need to be activated, but when we do, the collective constellation of our illumination together is miraculous. And this is what I've been seeing just in the people I've been working with. It's time for this to stretch far beyond me and you and the people, your tribes. And allowing yourself to tune into these little programs and beliefs and energies that are running, and feeling more of you and getting to play with it in a way that isn't like anybody else has done, is going to allow this amazing expansion. Now, you may be feeling like you want to amplify and expand, but really what we want to do is bring your energy more into your being like you've never felt it, and allow an awareness beyond anything you've ever known. Who is resonating with this message? Who is like, I want to know what you're talking about. What do you mean? What I mean is there's even as you're awake, even as you've already been doing cosmic work, meaning you are in tune and maybe you do a shamanism, maybe you are a yogi, maybe you have a business as a messenger or as a guide, maybe you have shifted the paradigm in some product and you've brought a new product to the world, whether it's a health product or whatever your message is that's going beyond the status quo that you're already living and breathing and implementing. I know deep in my heart that each of us is settling into something that's familiar, and it's not allowing us to play and expand into our bliss place, our love place. There's parts of each of us, especially those of us who truly care and are highly sensitive and highly empathic and maybe have some people pleasing in the past and things like this. We are still tied in and attached to those programs. I feel it within me. If I feel it within me, then that's being reflected back to me in my community, and I'm here to shift it. We can shift these frequencies. We can shift these beliefs. We can shift these perspectives with energy and with frequencies, sound frequencies, mind patterning. There's so many tools available to us, and what I love to do is make it fun and almost effortless, even though it's not by any means. This is deep work, and the deeper we go and the less superficial we go, you don't need a better website, you don't need a new funnel, you don't need another business strategy. What we need is a place and a space to really allow you to go inside and find your own secret sauce. Hey Rita, how are you? Hi Elizabeth. Your own secret sauce, because and you're not gonna find it looking outside of yourself. And many of us that are brilliant will deny our inner secret sauce for a long time because of trauma, because of past life experience, whatever it is. And the work that we do, that stuff starts clearing right away in the very first session. And I want you to find somebody like me or work with me, somebody that can rapidly release these attachments, because if they're resonating within me and they're still resonating within my clients, then we're resonating as a collective constellation, and it behooves us to release this. Because imagine if each one of us is living full color and, tuning into the secret sauce and connected into your soul family even more powerfully, tuning into your third eye, your crown's open, your heart's open, you're trusting, you believe, you have faith, you're living a life of faith, you're not doubting what you're doing, you're not saying, well, this is pretty good, so let me just settle into this. No, you're inspired from your heart, and your heart is actually open and beating and calling in who you're meant to be and speak with. Boom, boom, boom. When I started this work myself, I didn't even know what I felt. And I had already achieved a whole career and living and had what seemed like a pretty good life on the surface. And as we dig down and face certain parts of ourselves and release these attachments energetically, I'm starting to feel people's energy too. And mostly awaken the DNA beyond the basic strands, the vanilla strands that we've all gotten used to. That is when the secret sauce comes in. That is when we begin to call in each other. That is when we truly amplify and expand from a place of alignment and inner yumminess. Robin, thank you for all the hearts. Who has any questions? I want to hear. I want to know what you guys are feeling in today's energetic vibration. Because for me, what I feel today in the collective energy, I know that it was supposed to ease up today, but what I feel in the collective energy today is that that pull from what's old, and not enough of the faith in what is new and what is going beyond the place that where you believe in what isn't here yet. When you believe in yourself and what's coming through for you, that's like the most oh, it's the most empowering and magical, creationary energy ever. So tell me what's happening, and do you like my yellow nails that I got at the salon today? What do you think? Let me see if I'm, let me do a little, did this share? Yes. Hey, Mariana. Hello, everybody. So, I really want to share with you, and I want to read this to you, what I wrote in my book the other day, because sometimes I get excited when I'm talking to you live. And here's the thing. When I first started this business, I thought I was going to be selling paintings. And then I started finding out about all of my awareness and all these parts of me that were already there, but I just wasn't turned on to them. Everything that I'm talking about isn't something that's like, oh, I'm gonna go take this class and I'm gonna have to study all this stuff and then I'm gonna learn how to use it. Yes, there's learning, and yes, you will be shifting and growing day to day and week to week. But what I found, especially when I activated my DNA, there were just certain things I just wouldn't hear, know, see, or do until I activated and awakened my DNA. There was just, when you're capped at the basic level, then there's parts of you that are simply not hearing, knowing, feeling, and allowing, like this whole limitless part of you that each one of us has. I know that we are each gifted in different ways, and some of us are more gifted in other areas, because if we were all the same, nothing would move, nothing would happen. So part of the fun of this work, what we do together, is not only like popping the cap off, popping your cosmic cherry and opening this stuff up, but in a way where you don't get scared of it, because I think most of us, I know I started waking up to this stuff as a little girl. I was doing light language at 8. And then I just turned that shit off because nobody around me was doing that. It wasn't okay. And I experienced all this self-esteem issues and self-worth things and feeling less than myself because I was being less than myself. And if you feel like you're unworthy, it's probably because you do know you have this incredible magical stream that you're accessing every day and then instantly shutting off. Do you ever have a desire that hits you and you go, oh, that would be so great? And then you go, oh, but I can't do that. That's not for me. That's what you've gotten used to. Or you say, okay, that would be great. Now let me fit it into the way it would work in this world here. Quit that. It needs to come through fresh. And the way we get it to come through fresh is to strip that old energy out and to, not strip, that sounds so violent, to flush and release with joy and gratitude the energy that is locking you around in your past, and you're like dragging it with you, and you're putting yourself into a container, and you're vanillaing down your beauty and your magical ability to express who you are truly and to reach into this like limitless imagination and energy and connection to everybody, instead of thinking, oh, it's all on me and I gotta squish it into this box, and well, that's not very exciting. So then we sabotage and do stupid shit to keep our soul happy, because our soul's like, that is not like, it's a confused mess, you know what I mean? Mariana says, I have a question. Today I feel literally a fragile heart, not painful, but fragile, after a deep shaken conversations and realizations. Is that a heart opening? It sure sounds like it. It certainly sounds like it. Does it feel a little pinchy and like it's just pinchy and you feel it opening? And there's a lot of heart opening in this cosmic weather. And I've been called in my next containers to, everything is coming down to heart. We've done a lot of throat and chest in Valtopia content that's been available, and now we're moving into a lot of heart expansion. And heart expansion is about rewiring and reprogramming your inner core beliefs so that you do expect the best when you haven't experienced the best. And then you expect the best even when the first and the second and the third time that best doesn't come through yet, because you're still actually secretly expecting the worst, and you haven't yet shifted into the open heart. And you must trust and faith and come into that place where eventually you will see reflected back to you the form of what you created over and over and over again with a bigger and bigger and opener, more wide open heart, right? You're asking because what you described of heart being closed and blocked is what I've lived like most of my life. And clearly huge love opening is asking me to open up. Yes, it's pinched like hanging from a string, delicate and super soft. Almost like guided, but without the pain. Yeah, don't be afraid. Let it come open. Trust and faith is your current. Yes, trust. Well, let me tell you, when you get to the point where you've learned all these things and you're getting to trust and faith, well, then you're aligning to my containers now. Because trust and faith is about opening your heart. Now I can feel some energy here in the chest, and that's where we're still tuned in to the old stories that we have going. If you can't get past this fear to open your heart, there are things you can do to shift your inner beliefs and the energy inside of you so that you can attract a different response, whether it's a neutral response at first and then a more deeper positive reflection of the work that you're doing for yourself. The work meaning tuning into yourself, writing into creation what you believe, programming your mind and being around people and listening to and awakening and hiring people like me to shift yourself at least over 21 days, if not 90 days. My next container is 4 months, where you are daily rewiring your brain pattern, shifting your energy, opening your heart, opening and aligning all of your energy centers, being fit, being nourished, taking the bold moves and actions that you're being guided to, and living in a totally new way. It can be terrifying if you're doing it by yourself. I know, because I've been on this journey, and I invest in support, and I wouldn't give up that investment for anything, because now I have a daily process. Even if there's some really gnarly shit going down, I know that I'm not going to go down into months of some spiral, or let like my life turn into something that I don't want, because I'm doing the work here to stay receptive and open and calm and trusting and connected and allowing and joyful and blissful no matter what's going on, because my life isn't perfect all the time by any means, honey. I got divorced a couple years ago. Like, you can imagine there's a lot of cleanup and shit to do. I got little kids. I'm a single mother. I'm trying to date in LA, you know, like, and I come show up with this smile and this energy is genuine, because this energy, it comes from a daily process of renewal and refreshment and reconnection with soul, inner soul being. And it took me that investment in this time to unlearn all the shit I'd learned in my 48 years and bring it into connection now. And to know that now for the rest of my life, I'm living a different experience than I had been. One where I was not allowed to express fully the creativity and connect with beautiful people every day and help change lives and help people who help change lives. You know, people that really do want to shift the status quo and create a more expansive space of being where we are actually working within the energetic principles that actually create our world, not some old paradigm that doesn't really actually work and mean anything. Mariana says bruised instead of guided. Yeah, bruised. That's a good way to put it, Mariana. Yeah, inner work. That's what will open your heart. Thank you, Rita. So how does all this resonate with you guys? I want to read this to you. I think I just said it, actually. I was like, got a little nervous and thought I needed to read it, but then I just said it from my heart. And I am feeling this energy in here. Who feels a tightness in your energy right here? Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, the main thing coming through for today's stream and probably the next few days is about this knowing that, this feeling like you feel like everything's pretty good, and then you realize that there's a whole level of experience that you're stopping. For some of us, it gets us into chronic fatigue, and we've gone way too far, and now we're not able to operate our body in a way that complements our actual soul energy. And if you're beginning to feel that level of boredom and fatigue and anxiety and depression, but you're successful, then definitely check out what's going on, because that is showing an imbalance. Your body calls to you and tells you what you need. And in our lives, we've been taught to just ignore so much of what is truly our gift and guidance. And really, that's what the work you're doing with me is about, is to understand more deeply than ever your own guidance panel, your own awareness, and your own infinite power to create so much in your life, you know? I think Shauna wrote something and I missed it. Shauna says, yucky stuff, asthma flare-up and sleepy, released with weird dreams. And thanks for the like and the yellow nails. Thank you. Shauna's not breathing well today. Definitely some inner child past life witchy shit. So I'll claim the tight chest. Okay, well maybe we can get on afterwards and do some. Do some release today, Shauna. So and that's something to be said about this work. There's going to be moments when you feel the release very powerfully, and you have to trust that you're allowed to pull back, and that on the other side of that pullback, when you regenerate and reformulate yourself, you're going to have a whole different level of experience. I think that's the hardest thing for everyone to allow and accommodate for, is the other side, like this thing you can't see. We've been so taught to have a result first before, and then to trust. And it doesn't work like that. We are actually creating the trust in the moment and allowing the energy to create the reality that's coming to us in the moment. And sometimes that looks like releasing energy from your body that you've been holding on to for a long ass time that isn't serving you. It doesn't always. Some moments are like instant release and shift, and some moments are deep work and tears and physical release. And it's worth it though. It's so worth it, because the place you stay attached to those emotions keeps you capped at that place. And so trust that in these moments when you're, not feeling well, that you're allowed to rest, and you're allowed to listen to beautiful things in your ears and regenerate who you are coming into another space. Mariana says, that's tough. In the moment, creation and trusting. Awesome but challenging when in this transition. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to do a little mini reading here for the collective in this energy, see what comes through. I'm curious. I'm always curious. And I want to, while I'm just shuffling the cards, I want to invite you to consider, that sounds really vanilla, actually. I invite you to consider. That doesn't sound like me at all. I want you to get your ass in my next container called Soul Right, and it's 4 months with me. There's only 2 spots. It's a daily touch point with me and a weekly session. I haven't offered a weekly session to anybody in a long time. And this is only going to be 2 spots, and it's 4 months. And this is about this type of deep life transformation. I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for cosmic medicine women that haven't yet effectuated. I'm looking for artists, shaman leaders who haven't tapped into all of their business. I am loving how everyone that comes into my containers opens up their third eye, their crown, their heart's open, their throat's open, they ground. They become a different person than when we began. And it's a little bit tricky to invite everyone in, because not everyone's ready to do this work. So you'll know as you're called. You've been watching me, you've been circling around what I'm talking about, and you're seeing my change, my immense shift over the few years. Like I'm a completely reverse aged, vibrant being versus the very alive and dynamic and pretty good looking lady I was just a couple years ago. It's amazing how much you change when you have the inner glow, when you trust yourself more and more every day. And when this stuff is open, when the energy is flowing through you and you're connected in to everyone on the cosmic level, holy fuck, the shit that comes through is fucking phenomenal. I am honored and delighted to be in a container with you where we get to explore who you are, and you get to tell me anything. I'm not going to get mad at you. If I get mad at you, it's like ass kicking that your soul is calling you to. You get to cry. You get to share your deepest, darkest stuff. It doesn't go anywhere. it goes away from you and into the earth, and you get regenerated and refreshed, and you are no longer like succumbing to this vanillaPreneur that some of you I see happening, because, you know, we get scared. We put ourselves out there, and then we feel the pull of our daily lives or our bills or whatever that's coming through, and that is not what's happening here. We are tuning into the infinite possibilities and bringing it through. You guys are having a convo here. Let me see. Shauna says, yes, I invite you to. It's over. We get it, people, in, on, and now. And Shauna and I are going to be bringing through something too, so stay tuned for that. Carmen says, I was just going to say you're awake still. Hey, Carmen. I am glowing. Thank you, honey. This is what I want to do with you guys. Guys, I want you to glow from within. And I'm serious. When you activate these codes, when you awaken your DNA, when you learn to live in a way that you're fully tuned in, you do glow. And when I go, yesterday I was at the Century City Mall, and I was just smiling like I do. I've always been smiling my whole life, but I was smiling, and this guy that was serving the food kept looking, and I just kept smiling, and he said, your smile is incredible. I said, well, thank you. And he said, most people are just dead. They're just dead. And I thought, oh, how sad. And I looked around, and that's not what I see, because everywhere I'm walking, I got the glow. I'm doing the work, and I'm grinning, and people are grinning back at me. And so I'm experiencing a reflection that's what I'm expecting. I write in my journal that everywhere I go, people loving on me and grinning at me, and that comes from both a place of desire, and also that's what I experience. So I write like, I really enjoyed that. Let's have some more of that, right? So, oops, what happened to my delicious little house music that was playing? Honey, oh, it's over. All right, let me just put it back. So let's do this cosmic read, people. Let's do this collective reading. I want you to sign up for Soul Power, Soul Right, like Soul Train. 4 months with me. This is probably the most intensive container I'm going to offer for a while. You can't miss it. We start September 8th. You got a couple weeks to figure it out. The person who signs up first, I'm going to do one of my amazing activation portraits. I really want to light up the codes, the money codes, I want to align you to your star constellation. I want you to be able to connect more deeply with all the wisdom that's coming through for you, and not do that like where you get it and then you turn it off because it's scary, or you don't quite know what to do with it, or you doubt it, or you question it. You are indeed receiving a shit ton of information that would actually make your life more easy, more fun, more rich, more wealthy, more healthy, more amazing, more glowy. Let's stop denying it. Let's stop turning it down. Let's stop vanillaing the fuck out of our amazing cosmic presence that we are living here right now in this time, in this crazy time that we're living in. Yeah, it is crazy. And we get to bring through our own version of crazy and counteract and lift up the vibration simply by choosing ourselves and choosing to awaken these parts of us. Like, we are amazing beings with infinite possibilities, and we're just like tuned into just a portion of it. It's time to turn off the dial and allow so much more of us to effectuate in our lives. And it doesn't have to be this like lifelong journey. It is a lifelong journey, but you will see results immediately. I'm amazed at my clients, and my last 2-month clients, 90-day clients that I've had. We just went from a place where we doubted everything, whether we could even have friends or dates or live our life experience. She's dating. She's got a whole new set of friends. She's doing all this amazing yoga. Like, there was an anxiety that had taken over, and life had shut down, and she's alive again. And we haven't even finished the 90 days. She shifted right away. And that's fun. I met her here locally. And then, you know, we have a whole life shift happening with my other clients. It happens rapidly, and then you want the 4 months, you want the 90 days or the 4 months to effectuate the change. Because damned if this little pea brain won't try to bring you back down to where you were and keep everything on the status quo. And that's not what we're here to do. So that's what you're investing in with me, is not only my presence with you to witness and support you every day and every week powerfully, the energy shifting and the DNA activation, my history, I've been through this so much, so I'm going to know what you're up to when you're sabotaging or when you're successing. I'm going to know. We're going to say, hey, and you know what we do? We beat ourselves up and we play down what we've actually done. And I'm here to reflect back to you, no, that was a really good, but do you not see how far you've come with that? We got to open that up. So, all right, so let's see what, oh, look at this. Detox needed. Detox needed. Who needs a detox from this full moon? I would say that because there were some energies and still energies being stirred up on the other side of the moon and the retrogrades and everything that we've been through that can be really alarming and scary to some people, you know? It can feel really like, oh my God, I've gone back to the old days. I thought I was beyond this. And really it's just coming up for you to review and release. Look, we have children here. Children. Yoga. Who does some yoga? It's so important to move your body in this energy, to have a daily practice of fitness. That's part of the glow, is like beyond the cosmic energy work. You've got to move your body, and so much of the work that we do with these sound frequencies is releasing that tight energy in your body that you didn't even know you were holding on to, that was actually dictating the same fucking stupid experiences that you keep trying to change other ways than actually doing the inner work and the body work, okay? Shauna was feeling this today, yeah. Hey, Nanda. So that's what the self-care is about. It's not about just taking a hot bath and, you know, relaxing. Self-care is about minding this vessel that contains the life force for your experience of being. We get so used to our daily routine, even as we shift and change, and our mind is like on autopilot. And it's vital that you have someone looking at you with you, or you're doing the work to check that you're allowing, you know, just like a wild plant wants to grow, and you got to, you know, when you have your plants, you trim them and keep them. We have to trim ourselves and keep ourselves like contained in our energy and clear out other people's energy, and allow our own energy to refresh and reboot, and for newer and newer levels of our own awareness to come in more deeply as we ask for more, and life gives us experiences that allow us to shape those desires and truly come into synergy and synchronicity with who we're meant to. Yeah? And that's what we're doing when we do all this work. We're connecting with spirit. We're connecting with our own spirit. We're connecting with each other. And there's nothing more powerful than connecting with the soul, right? Right? Oops, we got another commercial here. So, let's see what's coming through the diagnostic deck. Whoa, cards flying out everywhere. All right. Oh yes, the high flyer, Prince of Wands. This is about breaking the status quo, like really taking that risk and doing what you don't see yet because you know it deep in your heart, and opening your heart to trust and faith. Stopping the indecision. Your squelched imagination comes from not making choices and trusting in your heart. So you got to be strong and think for yourself. Think for yourself. Be very mindful of your energy. And note what is an energy drain. Energy drains can look like bad habits around the way you speak about money, the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak about others, the way you speak about your future. And it's real easy to be vanilla and try to sound like what you're used to and think that that's okay, until you realize that that's actually recreating over and over again scenarios that you don't want, because you're unwilling to rise up into even more excellence and maybe ruffle the feathers of people around you, maybe sound like a little bit too much in your face, or maybe sound like too weird or something. That's an energy drain, not letting yourself tune into and be the truth of who you are. That's what this time alone and the Hierophant, tuning inward with guidance, and allowing the messages to come through for yourself, and sitting with that, and then letting that guide you beyond where you are, and really releasing any unresolved grief that's in your heart, as your heart opens, if you are feeling pain, that's the grief releasing that you've been holding on to. And holding on to that grief keeps you in a place that you're actually crying about wanting to release, right? Grief is very multi-layered, and we have so many different ways, but I've actually worked with several clients through grief, and the energetic release allows you to feel a different way that even if you're experiencing a loss of someone you love, they would want you to do this work and come into a more powerful space. We're still here, or loss of relationships that you've had to give up because they were energy drains. It's all your choice and decision. So be the queen of your space and your being and choose like a power bitch, right? Get soul right. Who is interested in soul right? I want to hear, I want to know. So I'm going to pull one question card for the last bit. Oh, I love it. Why am I creative? And that's exactly what today's message is about. Your inner soul being is guiding your experience, and you're allowed to be creative. You are creating in every moment that you live and breathe. And capping it, not listening to it, ignoring it, it's actually hurting your bottom line. It's hurting your physical being, and it's not allowing you to enjoy. We get to enjoy this experience. Even when it's all going crazy, we get to enjoy and pull in more and more of our own creativity and soul right being. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Do you guys have any questions? This was fun. This was fun. And Shauna, we will connect afterwards, after the stream. So thank you for all the love hearts and connection. Feel free to share this. Feel free to like my business page and to check me out on valtopia.com. And I want you to private message me. There's only 2 spots for Soul Right. There's only 2 spots. We start on September 8th. It's 4 months with me. It's a daily touch point and a weekly session where we can do energy, we can do guiding your clairs, opening your clairs, shifting your mindset, working on your business, whatever it is we need to do. Yeah? So thank you for joining us, and own your frequency. There's nobody like you. Don't vanilla it down. Bring it. Bring all of you. See you next time.